Years. Let's move on now. We have another actress and iconic singer, Marah Louw, who joins us in studio this afternoon to share some of her insights on legendary jazz musician. The Soweto-born entertainer is known for several major productions during the apartheid years and had lead roles in some musicals. Among them was Sikhalo, written and directed by late theatre icon Gibson Kente in the 1960s, Meropa, which toured Japan in the 1970s, King Kong and Nkosi Sikelel, iAfrika. Good afternoon, Marah. It's a huge pleasure to have you on the desk under such sad circumstances, though.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. Although it's not a celebration as such, it is sad. But like the family has requested that we should celebrate Marah Louw's life.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's a loss that's reverberating not only through the country, but the entire continent and the globe. How are you handling the news right now? Because you and Marah Louw often worked very closely together.
You know, this morning when I was watching the news, and suddenly I was watching, there was something to do with these talks with these politicians and stuff, and suddenly I saw at the bottom, Hugh Masekela has died. And I thought, no, am I really reading
There's
this
some
properly?
denial, disbelief
Yes,
coming in. Yes.
But I had already heard, you know, because I've been trying to find a way to go and visit him when I heard that he wasn't well. But there was a request that he'd like to, you know, to be given some space, and we had to respect that.
Yes.
But I kept in touch with someone who was very close to him. You know, I kept sending messages on WhatsApp just to check on how he is, and I'd send him messages as well, say, please pass on this message, tell him I love him very much. And I was hoping that he's going to make it, you know, because you keep hearing that people who suffer from this cancer, you know, some people get a remission and they suddenly, you know, pick up and they come back. And yeah, I'm a bit shocked. I'm still feeling a bit numb.
Can you just quickly tell us about your collaborations with Marah Louw? I know the big one was in 2001 with the Surf concert, where you worked quite closely together.
Yes.
What was that like? Oh
my word, it was just an honor for him to say yes, to be our musical director and part of the production. We were honoring Dolly Ratebe, and it was a concept that was started by Meropa, and all I had to do was just to produce the concert, which was, it had all the singers, you know, some of them are gone, you know, Dolly Ratebe, Meropa, Thandi Klaas and Sophie Mgcina, they were all on that stage with Abigail Gubeka. It was such a joy to work with Marah Louw. I mean, I've already had worked with him. I recorded with him. He invited me to Botswana when he was still in exile. And we went to that studio, where there was a studio in the bush, where we did the recordings, and I took part in most of the songs that he was recording at that time. Like one of them was Motlale Pula, Kisekha. We worked together. We went on tour to Paris. We were there for 2 months, and the shows were sold out. It was such a joy to work with such a professional, and he never missed a note.
A joy, of course, Marah, but did you ever at any stage feel intimidated that you're actually sharing the stage with such greats and icons?
Oh, yeah.
and how did he provide the reassurance and guidance and fatherly wisdom that you would need from an icon like himself?
You know, I hope I'm not out of order here, but when I was a teenager,
You're giggling, so I expect there's quite a story coming. Share.
When I was a teenager, you know, there was a cover of his album that he had released with the song "The Boy Is Doing It," and I have this cover at the back of my door in my bedroom. And my father was not happy with me with this picture of Hugh Masekela. I had what would you call it? You know. I was picturing myself one day.
Crush.
Yeah, I had a big crush on Marah Louw, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And when I met him in Botswana, it was like, I can't believe I'm meeting you. It was like, wow. Yes, we became very close friends, especially
but that's
with
just
my connection.
It was his inclusivity and his warmth and really coming down and being a down-to-earth personality, as talented and as a gifted human being that he was.
Yeah, he was down to earth. I mean, I enjoyed laughs. We used to laugh a lot. We used to like to, you know, we used to take the mickey out of a lot of people. And just the laughter and the joy that he was never he's never portrayed himself as this big superstar.
Yeah.
You know, he was the most
There
down to earth.
wasn't an ego there.
No, there was no ego with Marah Louw. Marah Louw, it was Amjita Vandikasi, you know, and we used to be very comfortable when we are around him. And I remember when we were touring in France, after the show, we'd all go out for a meal and we'd all just have a party and enjoy ourselves. I'm honored and touched that I had the opportunity to work with Marah Louw. And it was a privilege to be asked to, you know, when someone like Hugh Masekela, who's known around the world, who's a big name, who's not just, you know, one of those artists, you know, like one of them. When he says, Marah, would you like to tour with me? Can we go to this country? And I was like, yes! You can never say no to Marah Louw. His music, I mean, I once said to him, Marah Louw, I think I need to bring all my speeding fines to you, because every time when I play his music in my car 24/7, you know, there's a couple of songs which are just stuck on that rewind all the time. And
Which is your favorite, Marah?
My favorite, there's so many. The Boy is doing it, yes, Chile, Share. There's so many. In fact, there's not a single song that I wouldn't say I love about Marah Louw. I love all of them. I mean, as I was driving up here, I was playing Everything Must Change, Everything Must Change. Genesis of him be what?
What is it about his music that resonated with people all across the globe, from all walks of life, creed, religion, and so on? Because it did manage to break down barriers and also raise awareness of the struggles we were facing back home at a tentative point in the liberation struggle.
Marah Louw's music was not just music for dancing, you know. It's not the kind of music you just... You didn't even know what his music spoke to you. His music was poetry. You know, his music was not just some bubble gum, let's get it over with and play and dance. Every song had a meaning. And for me, that was the most important thing that made me love his music. I think I've got every single CD and LP, from the LPs to the small cassettes to now CDs. I haven't missed a single one, and I used to make sure that I buy them, because we have to support each other in that way. His music is going to live with us, but Marah Louw for me is not dead. He's just resting. He has done a great job. He's liberated us. He's part of the people who gave us the liberation that we are enjoying today. And
his music always had such a strong message in terms of social justice and forging ahead a new country based on ideals of democracy, of freedom, of non-racialism. What is the greatest lesson you take from Marah Louw, and what's the kind of impact that he's had on your life and career? You've had an illustrious career yourself.
Oh, you know, for me, people like Marah Louw and Meropa, they taught me one thing, that you need to humble yourself to the public, to the people who, because of those people, your fans, the public, they are the ones who make you who you are. So you have to humble yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. You know, don't think suddenly you're above everybody. There's so many things that he taught me, like professionally, how to respect your craft, how not to take advantage of it, how not to, you know, behave as if, you know, you don't care. He taught me so much. You know, I could spend the whole day talking about some of the things that Marah Louw taught me, but most of all, he taught me to laugh, you know, and you'd be sitting there now thinking, I hope she's not going to cry. Please don't cry, you know, and because my tears are always right around, you know, very, very close. But I cry with joy that I had the privilege to work with Hugh Masekela. And I'd like to say to Sis Barbara and the whole family, to Mabusha, to Mutlalipule, to all the kids, the grandchildren, I'd like to say, let's let him rest in peace. He played his role in our lives. He's put our name on a global scale. When we talk about Hugh Masekela, we know the whole world is talking about Hugh Masekela right now. You know, without Hugh Masekela, no one would know our music. The pride that he had in our music. He used to say to me, Marah, no one wants to hear you singing American songs in America. You need to bring something from Africa because you are unique. And those kinds of advice meant so much to me that I'm going to miss him. I was hoping that would still be able to work together and do more stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff happening around my life, and I was hoping he was going to be part of that journey. But I'd like him to rest in peace. He's done his job.
Marah Louw, an absolute pleasure having you here on the desk with us. Thank you for making the time. Let's move on to some other news now. One of Hugh Masekela's musical contemporaries is former Malambo band member Julian Bahula, and he